birds are having a great time out here on the property. I'd love to grab my camera and track some of them out there and learn a little bit more about the types of birds that are enjoying the woodlands in early spring and summer. Can't do that. Need to get busy with the soffits. So today it's all about soffits. I have my good friend Michael. Many of you have seen him in some of the previous videos. Michael's coming out to help with one of the eaves down a long side of the building. I'm measuring and cutting some of the soffit pieces ahead of Michael's arrival, and so that when he gets here we can really bang on and get these suckers in place. So stay tuned, let's get some of these soffits in place. And hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the reboot. Look who's back, it's Michael. Time to get busy. It's a real pleasure when Michael is able to work it into his schedule to come out and help me with some of the building tasks associated with getting this pole barn up and weather tight. It really is fantastic when you can share jobs or hobbies like this with a friend and spend some time together. Anyways, what you see me doing with the scaffolding there is slowly bring it out from behind the building. And unfortunately, the corner there is too tight. There's another little building there, the little one that you can see down there to the right, where I boiled up the maple syrup. That's in the way, making it too tight a turn to come around the corner with the trailer attached to the tractor. So take a look and see what Michael and I did to get it around the corner. All right, I say we give it a shot.
Okay. Tell me when you're... Okay. Yeah.
I'll move the tractor down. Yeah, that's good. I can grab it from there.
Sorry.
No problem.
Just a foot forward.
Yeah, that's going to roll. So here's what Michael's been up to so far today. You see the nice soffit work going in there. I've pulled Michael away from the soffit work a couple times already just to do some other things. which unfortunately I didn't film, but we fixed a thing up on the roof of the building, which went quite well. This is your first time doing soffits, Michael?
It is.
Yeah. It's pretty much my first time as well, and you know, for anybody out there thinking of doing a project like this, it is, you know, it takes a lot of time. You want to do your research, you want to go to YouTube and watch people doing it, but at the end of the day, you can learn these things. You can learn how to cut the tin. I'm going to have to start getting some footage of me doing these things, Michael, or people are going to think I don't do much, and Michael comes over and does it all. And so the way we're installing the soffits, you can see Michael doing it right now. He's just added, or he's in the process of adding some screws. So we put the soffit in place just using a staple gun. It just tacks it in place, gets it up there nice and easy, efficient, quick, and then it's easy to just come back and every other ridge to install a little soffit screw that'll be hidden by the fascia board, and that just adds obviously some strength and stability to the whole system. And it's not much of an effort either to do it. If you're all set up, you've got your staple gun handy, you've got your screws handy, it comes together quite nicely. Michael did a great job installing the soffits all the way down this long side of the building. Great having him out for the day. It's a few days later and I'm back out at the property finishing up some of the trim work at the gable ends at the back and as it comes around the side of the building here. Just finishing up that little triangle piece. I'm not exactly sure what that's called. Adding a trim piece here. Keep in mind, if you take on a project of this scale, whether it be a 10 by 10 shed or a pole barn the size that I've taken on, and you decide to install metal siding, you will be involved in quite a bit of detailing work, that's what I call it, with these small little fits around corners, around windows. This type of work didn't discourage me, but it takes a while to get it done. So keep this in mind if you decide to take on a project like this. Okay, so what's interesting here is everyone has to remember and keep in mind if you do this approach to a project as well. This fascia material is designed and cut to measure precisely for 2x6s. In reality, my 2x6s, and you have to remember the real dimensions of a 2x6. It's 1.5 by 5.5 inches. And so my 2x6s are probably, they're pretty close to 1.5 thickness. But in terms of this dimension here, they're probably closer to 5.25 than 5.5. And so this distance here is too long. So I need to go and take off about 1/2 inch so that this will fit properly and snug up properly, correctly against the soffit material. So that's a little bit of extra work that I've created myself, because milling as a novice with my sawmill, I'm not 100% accurate in terms of the dimensions that come out of the larger sawmills, and as well as the type of lumber that you buy at the big box stores or a lumber store. So I've got to go do some trimming. Once trimmed, the fascia board goes into place quite easily, and it's very easy to install. You just insert several nails and it fits into place. These end pieces, again, because you're working on the corners, there's a little bit of trim work to do. Once you've done that, again, they all install quite easily. And here you see I'm installing some screws as well, just on the corner, It pulls the sheets together nice and tight and makes for a clean finish. I'm going to end the footage here concerning the installation of these fascia boards. I think everyone gets the idea. It's pretty straightforward. It's a very interesting system. The boards just hook up and slide under the drip edge. There's quite a bit of friction there, even after I trimmed them. There's quite a bit of friction there, and then you add those nails and you have a very good looking clean edge to the building up at the eave line and along the eaves. Let's change topics now. I'm going to go grab my chainsaw and let's head out and take down some of the dead standing trees on the property. I'm up at the roadway to my property. It's a little bit noisy up here. There's the odd car going by. But as you can see there, the tree with the ladder on it, that's dead. And then a couple more down that way. These are all dead trees. A couple of them are large enough to put on the sawmill and use as some hardwood lumber. So that's what I'm up to today, is felling these trees, or at least this morning. And put some nice hardwood on my sawmill. So let's get busy and welcome everybody back to the Woodland Reboot, and let's have some fun. So this is a decent sized ash tree. If it's not an ash, it's an elm. I'm probably going to get two 10-foot sections out of this. So I'll get some beautiful hardwood, and who knows what projects I'll use it for, but it'll be quite useful, excellent hardwood to use in the future. I've got the boom pole on the 9N. Let's go grab those logs I bucked up this morning. There's some really nice 8, 9, and 10 foot ash logs in that group. Let's go get them. Dead ash tree. Gonna be nice. I'm really pleased with the number of logs that I was able to get out of those trees. Unfortunately though, I think the first log that I pulled over, not that I think, I know, the first log I dragged over was very heavy. It was 10 feet long, ash, one of the hardest hardwoods we have in this part of Ontario. Very dense wood, and unfortunately I've done some damage to my hydraulic system. I've got hydraulic fluid leaking out. You can see me with my wrench set working underneath the tractor. I was able to tighten it up and reduce or limit the amount of fluid coming out, but the bottom line is I think I've lost a seal. A little bit of bad news for my 9N. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, there's a bottom plate to the hydraulic fluid area. In here, all the hydraulic fluid is kept, and the seal is busted right here, or something's busted, because every time I engage, ouch, that's hot. Every time I engage, not every time, the last couple times I engaged the hydraulics to lift the logs, oil came spurting out of there. Ouch again. You can probably see the remnants of the drips. But let me see if I can find some of the, had a big gush up in the, there's evidence of it. There you go. You can see it on its cycle. It was pumping hydraulic fluid out. There's some more, see? So there's a new task to add to the list. And yeah, changing a seal on my 9N. That's a new one for me. There's some more right there on the last log that I brought in, being that bigger one right there. I tried to lift it and got that gush. So I've just decided to leave these two here. I'll find a way to roll them up. I'll create a ramp and roll them up onto the log ramp, and hopefully in the next week or so fire up the saw. I haven't used it for about gonna say 4 months, so it'll be good to get back on there. This is super hardwood, it's ash. I've got one more log sitting up by the road, not a big one, a smaller one like these ones over here. So I'm gonna call it quits for the videotaping there today, guys. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, hit that like button. Be great if you could subscribe and join me on this journey of finishing that building. Got to close in the gables, and there's a whole bunch of work to do internally. Probably some insulation, some electrical. And I've got a very long list of other projects to do around here. Okay, out for now, guys. Enjoy.